Hey everybody, this is Rydo, and we're back to another recording of MTG Arena. Today is Wednesday, October 23rd. We've just got the daily quests, daily wins to do, so that's what we're working on. Going through these decks, and I'm paying a little bit more attention today than I have been so far, so I'm actually trying to learn these decks, and I am actually learning some things about these decks, but mostly I'm learning through being defeated, which is not the funnest way to learn, certainly. I guess I could play against bot matches, and maybe that would get daily wins. I should experiment with that after this stream. That might be the one thing that fixes a situation that we're having right now, which is I kind of need to play 15 wins every day, and it's not worth the time to really do that. So if the bot matches made it really quick, that would be great. One major problem that's going on right now is the passing of actions and turns just slows down the gameplay a lot more than Hearthstone ever did. And I kind of knew that was the case, and that was one of my concerns about moving the Magic, which I was eventually just forced to move the Magic, is that these games can get really slow just because of the timer systems. Anyways, I want to get rid of almost all the news and games we have to look at today. That way we have very little to do on Friday when most people don't watch, and it allows me to kind of take it easy on Friday, although I don't know why Friday has to be my personal Friday. I set my own times, so. Three damage thingy. See, this strategy on this deck, I believe, is that you need very specific cards that buff up when you do spell damage. So if you're just doing spell damage in this deck, I think you're probably playing it wrong. What I need is a deck list, and I think that would be helpful for a lot of people. Is if there was a way to look at a deck list without seeing the order of the cards in your deck and just reference what you're looking at while you're playing, that would be helpful. Although maybe that is just straight up considered cheating also. So I don't know. It's definitely cheating to pick up your deck and start thumbing through it and look for cards. Look at the cards you have left. This guy is defeating me way too easily. Well, I'm gonna lose, obviously, and a lot of that may just be because it's putting my deck against another red-black player's deck that is very similar to mine, but since my deck is just the default deck, anybody with even a small bit of knowledge to improve on the default deck is likely to defeat me. It's surprising I've made so many victories already, frankly. I thought it would be believable, at least, that the first month of playing I just lost constantly. So yeah, let's try that deck again. Anyways, I want to go through all the news here. Gamatsu has a article, Suda51 and Swery65 team up for an indie horror game called Hotel Barcelona. Currently very much in the conception stage. Frankly, though, having two highly opinionated, like expressive personalities, particularly when there are two Japanese expressive personalities working together, probably is grounds for conflict. I don't think two developers are really needed. But yeah, they work on, they're gonna work together, and we'll see how well that happens, or how that, whether the final product ever gets delivered or not. There also is some weirdness and problems with Japanese developers and publishers, because they have trouble getting funding or support, particularly if they're not working for the companies that they've been working with or for their entire lives. I think Kojima in particular was complaining about he couldn't even get a loan because all of the Metal Gear Solid games were not directly in his name, and he had to find people that were super fans of his of Metal Gear Solid to even give him a loan to try and make his next game, Death Stranding. And some of that does make sense. Like, it totally, if you were a major contributor to some project at some job, and then you made a bunch of money for some job, it would be kind of hard even in the United States to say, actually, I now need a business loan because I want to start my own business and stop working for this other company. There is a lot of, I guess, for lack of a better term, holding the middleman, holding the poor man down, that still goes on all over the world, where corporations make it seem like they are an actual human being and that they are the one that deserves all the credit for all success, and employees are nothing but cogs in a machine that are easily replaced and worthless, when in almost every case that's not really true. Let's see. Interesting. Let's get this on the field first, and then we'll do this next turn. This is one of these mid-game cards, I think, that you want to play as soon as you start running out of spells. And this. And then Death Touch, or +2/+2. Let's attack and see. +2/-2. Good thing I didn't do that twice. Let's see. Next we have a game on Steam called Sinking Simulator, which seems to be a Titanic sinking simulator. It's a little macabre of a game, and it doesn't seem like it's much of a gameplay style game anyways. And yeah, this just kind of looks like low effort animation. It's free, so I guess the price is right, English only, but I can't really help but think that this is what I'd classify as a troll game. Like, I don't think you need that. If I was gonna make a game where you're on a boat that's sinking, I think what you would do is probably have that be a plot in a long-running story that in the next 20 hours this boat will actually sink, and you have to get off the boat before then, or you have to do as much as possible to stop it from sinking as fast as it is originally. Like, I don't think you just make that the main theme and the main focus. The idea of a boat sinking probably is a somewhat scary thought for a lot of people, and gives some tension in it in a lot of situations. But that's kind of all I can think about it. Alright. So, at the beginning of your upkeep, exile the top card of your library. You may, during your turn, if an opponent lost life this turn, you may play that card. So, 3 damage to the opponent, which lets me play this. I don't think that was the right move. I don't think I did the right thing there. Moving on, story-wise, we have an article here from Kamasutra. Siberia publisher Anumon Interactive has rebranded as Microids and opened a new office in Japan. Let's see, Siberia, not a franchise that I recognize just directly off the top of my head. So, I think part of the reason why I don't recognize it, like, I think I have seen the Siberia series. It's like a first-person shooter series, I think. We'll look it up here in a second and see if we can get a better idea. Meanwhile, I'm gonna get my behind handed to me. I guess next turn we exile another card. So you're just gonna have more and more cards exiled in the hopes that you can play some of it. Like Theater of Horrors. There's clearly a visual theme and concept in some of these cards. That I imagine would fall apart relatively quickly. Let's see, we need to be auto passing. Alright. So we play this. We hit next, we hit this, we hit all attack. We see if he wants to defend. Death touch that. And then alright. Here we go. We'll get rid of somebody else. Next we have a game on Steam called Paradox Escape Route, which Seems to be a low effort asset flip top down game that's sometimes top down and sometimes 3D. It almost seems like there would be a game here if it weren't for the fact that it's just all over the place. Like, one of these concepts polished in any way might have made a game, but there's like 5 different concepts. 10% off, $17.99, English only, plus a third-party EULA. Have to resolve. I keep forgetting I need to be auto-passing a lot more. And I've got the buttons on my mouse, but now I'm realizing my mouse in no way works on those buttons, and that's probably why I never use them. Because they are just a nightmare. 2 damage. Two damage to that. And then play that. And then exile and play, or what is this one? They're the same card, it's just a spectacle cost. Okay. Next. All attack. Well, I've got. Just give a death touch. Why not? Death touch on death touch. Yeah, this Paradox Escape Route is $17.99 discounted, English only, with a third-party EULA. That's nowhere close to the right price. Meanwhile, let's see. Play this, and then we'll use this ability. And then spectacle cost. What else have we got? Deal 1 damage to target creature or planeswalker. Would that be useful? Yes, it would. All attack, I imagine. If I could just do 5 more damage, I'd win, but I'm going to lose instead right now, so at least we're starting to figure it out. Starting to figure out what decks are supposed to do, even if I don't have the right cards or the right chances. So here's the Siberia series, already labeled under Microids. It's a point-and-click adventure game that's on my wish list already. So yeah, okay. I recognize the name. They're working on this new game called Black Sad, which is a cat detective. It seems like they're kind of European in some of this flashback. In Siberia 3, which is mixed. I thought the Siberia series was somewhat liked. The Descent, I already own. Agatha Christie, ABC, and more. Some of these games I definitely already own. Alright. So, what does it mean that they changed their name? Not really much. See, Siberia 2 is very positive, and Siberia 1 is very positive. It's just Siberia 3 that's not. And there's Postmortem, Still Life, horror-looking games that I've bought at some point. Several more of these. Yeah, I could probably do a whole series just going through the games that this publisher has published, if that mattered. I should have played this. Really gotta learn, play these special cards, land cards, first turn, particularly if you don't have anything you're supposed to do. Because now I can do this, and then I can put that on the field. Let's see. Gamatsu has an article, Jetpack Firefighting Action Game Otoko Mizu is coming to the Switch on October 31st in Japan. I don't know anything else from it, but it looks to me like it's a ridiculous asset flip game, if I was to guess. And we don't see a ton of those from Japan's side, but I guess we will eventually start to see more of those. Eject water from your body to fires in the Edo era. Yeah, that seems pretty ridiculous. Let's see. Play that. Attack all. Let's see. What is it? Relentless Advance. Amass 3. Put 3 1/1 counters on your army you control. If you don't control one, create a 0/0 black zombie army creature token first. So you could have put them on different things, I guess. You draw a card and your opponent discards a card whenever you surveil. Return this. Alright, this is a hand destruction strategy card, and I will use it to make him discard. And while he's discarding, we have a game here on Steam called Nanotale Typing Chronicles, which looks like it might be visually polished enough to actually be a interesting typing game. It seems like all the typing and your magic and your mana all are at the bottom of the screen, so you might be only looking at the bottom of the screen if you're really typing, but maybe not. This is early access. It's $11.99. I've got to pay attention. When is this one? Whenever you surveil, get +1/+1 counter. Alright, so then the real question is, how do I surveil? I need something to surveil. This will. This will. Alright. Play this and do this. Return that. Does it lose all its counters at that point? And then do I want... I'll just keep that on top. And then do this again. Okay. And then, what does this have an ability? Herald of the Death Roll. When it dies, amass 2. So he's going with those zombie things. Yeah. Nanotale Typing Chronicles also is being sold with typing in a bundle called Typing Journey. This is English with full audio. I'm going to put this on the follow list and we'll see how reception is on this, because it does have kind of a visual polish to it. I don't know if it means that's a good typing game or not. I don't know if you even really need a good typing game. I don't know how important, frankly, typing is at all these days. Probably wouldn't hurt to be able to type, certainly. It's not gonna hurt, but it's not a lot of jobs that really require a secretary to type all day. Like now everything is a lot more digital by default. So yeah, this strategy I've figured out. It's all about destroying his hand so he can't play anything, and meanwhile synchronizing with other things. I would say Hearthstone had problems with ever creating any kind of synergy concepts like this. Like Hearthstone in a lot of ways is maybe you got 2, maybe you got 3, maybe 5 cards that if they were all in your hand and you got very, very lucky would synergize to something. But in a lot of scenarios, that's just not going to happen. Let's see. 2 damage to me. We have an instant here we'd like to do. Let's start by playing this. Let's go ahead and put these in the graveyard. And then we'll play that. And then just more hand destruction. Waiting for him to resolve. Waiting for me to make my next move. Right. We want to destroy this guy. Converted mana 3 or less. Okay, that doesn't work. Turn that to the hand, I suppose. And then all attacks and win. I struggled there to resolve and play in a fast manner. That is something else I'm going to have to work on, certainly, is just playing in a reasonable speed manner. Next we have a game on Steam called FlyX, which looks like an incredibly low effort black and white game. Maybe it has some lighting physics around it, but this is totally not a game I'd want to spend even 5 minutes looking at. Early access, $8.99 discounted, way too expensive. I don't even get why the prices are so high on some of these games. It seems like it's nothing but a joke, and Valve really needs to do a better job at telling people, look, we're not going to have you in our storefront having a product that is so overpriced, because it just won't leave our storefront, and it'll just take up an imagined amount of mental space on the shelves of their store. I guarantee you Walmart would not let you put something on their shelves that was like $5 overpriced what it really should be. Walmart calculates every square centimeter, I'm pretty sure, to as far as how much money they're making per square centimeter of shelf space that they're taking up. That's why so many products are constantly shifting their packaging to be smaller for the same price, or different sizes, taller but skinnier a lot of times. Next we have a TechRaptor article, 2 Point Hospital console release has been delayed, which is weird because I didn't really know that the console release was even coming out, and it's also weird that they would wait that long. The hype, which there was a massive amount of hype around 2 Point Hospital. TechRaptor in particular, super hyped around it because it's a spiritual successor to Theme Hospital, an old PC game that apparently was really popular in the UK or England or Europe in general. So it got talked about a ton, and then pretty much I don't think any normal gamer bought it or ever played it. Didn't really see any streamers spend a lot of time playing it, and like the one point when it was majorly hyped would have been the point to release every single version. It is definitely not going to get a second wind. Surveil 2 and draw 2 cards. I kind of need that, so I'm just gonna do that. What was that? Surveil, then draw a card. Okay. That works better. I may lose before I can even play a card. Like, I have this whole strategy that could work if I can just get out on the field and see to it that it works. Alright. Gain control of a creature with the power of 2 or more. There you go. Other knights you control get +1/+1. Next we have a game on Steam here called Sticker, which looks like it's just kind of a low effort Undertale clone, joke game, troll game, platformer of some sort. $2.99, English, alleged full audio. Yeah. Another just garbage game. Which, sadly, that's pretty much everything. Like, all of them, I think, were pretty much garbage games this week so far. Next, we have a game on Steam here called Playcraft, which looks like it might be an asset flip game where you run around. It's supposedly a MMO. It looks like it's a Fortnite clone in a lot of ways, but the original Fortnite with the building and the survival, not the Fortnite shooting battle royale concept. Playcraft is free to play, but then it has a pro pack for $19.99, supports a bunch of languages, and in-app purchases, and yeah, it just does seem like it's a bunch of assets being flipped to quickly 3 mana or less. You can kind of see how the strategy falls apart if you don't have the one card you need, or if you don't have the one card on the field that you want. The hand destruction concept falls apart, and the surveil concept falls apart. There we go. One person. Let's see. TechRaptor has another article here. Crowdfunding spotlight Shadows of Kepler. I would not recommend crowdfunding anything, although Shadows of Kepler does look like it might be a horror game of maybe some intent. Now here's an interesting thing. I've never seen this picture of this author. So either this guy is new or he is a freelance writer. Yep. This might be something, but wait till it's released. Wait till it's actually finished. Alright, who's attacking? Just go ahead and block that guy with that guy. There's really no reason not to. Having just finished playing Banjo-Kazooie, no, not Banjo-Kazooie, but Yooka-Laylee, which was a crowdfunded game, I totally feel even more vindicated in saying do not support those kinds of games and crowdfunding. It just doesn't work well. Game Sutra has a blog here, Game Design Deep Dive, the creative camaraderie behind Wilmot's Warehouse. Wilmot's Warehouse, a game also that's probably a little overhyped, where you're doing an organization game. There might be something to it, but it also puts a time limit on it, so I think you're probably losing half of your audience that would really enjoy being OCD and sorting a warehouse. And then having to deliver on orders when something is asked for. But yeah, also Wilmot's Warehouse gets really complicated. Right. Flying Death Touch. Tap target creature. -4. Tap target creature. Target creature gets -2, -4. Let's see. This is not gonna work well. Game Sutra has an article here. YouTuber's life has brought in more than $12 million in revenue. I assume revenue means gross revenue and not adjusted revenue, but maybe it means adjusted revenue. That means there's a lot of 9-year-olds and a lot of suckers who bought YouTuber's Life, a game that really nobody should have bought. This is just gonna kill me anyway, so I've lost. Both of these have tramples, so well, I got a couple of victories with that deck. Let's move over to this one. Let's see, Gamatsu has an article here for the Switch. Luigi's Mansion 3 Scream Park multiplayer modes are being added. So Ghost Hunt, Cannon Barrage, and Coin Floating. So there's more gameplay styles, or some small multiplayer sections in Luigi Mansions, for the Switch, which is an interesting idea. I suppose that even Nintendo games might... Oh man, I played the wrong card again. Even the Luigi's Mansion game is being played from a perspective that it has to have some kind of support for multiplayer sections. This was a very shocking announcement, and frankly something that I wouldn't even be talking about if I wasn't playing Magic Arena. But Hasbro decided to do a collaboration, at least, with Magic the Gathering and
the mind is a tempest that can be controlled.
Like My Little Pony Friendship is Magic.
Learn some respect.
So I don't know if that means that there really are cards that are going to ever have this art come about, or if maybe there's going to be a single printing of each of these sold at auction. The idea that this is actually going to be for sale seems just kind of out of place in general, and if you were going to take the My Little Pony series, you can get a playmat and you can get a trading card set of it. Interesting. It shows where Magic the Gathering being owned by Hasbro really doesn't make any sense at all. And so, yeah, I don't know what they're even really saying with that. It's not right. Like, I can't really think Magic the Gathering is even within 3 or 4 years of the age group of people who would be into My Little Pony. And I'm not talking about the bronies here, I mean little girls that they're targeting. So, knowing that, they should have just made a Pokemon trading card game in the same vein. Like, why not with the My Little Pony cards instead of making the Magic the Gathering cards? And you should have dumbed down some of this stuff and made the game a lot of things. Yeah, a dumbed down My Little Pony card game, sort of based on Magic, but way more simplified with way fewer cards and cheaper cards, makes a lot more sense than trying to get adults, who are the vast majority of people who would be playing Magic the Gathering, into playing with My Little Pony cards. So the whole thing seems crazy. Like, and frankly, Hasbro probably could do better with their time. And do better with their license of My Little Ponies than make a card game around it. If anything, you'd want like a cell phone game, I would imagine. An augmented reality game with ponies running around like Pokemon Go would make a lot more sense. And it would make more sense than Pokemon Go, since horses and ponies do walk around all the time. A walking game would work well. Although the My Little Pony cartoon, as far as I understand it, is more around a set number of characters who are more important, not a collection of hundreds of different types of characters. Let's see. Scry. Just go and play this and put it on the field. Deal 5 damage. It could do destroy that. Whenever you cast an instant spell, you may return this to my hand. Okay. Return it to my hand. Next story we have from TechRaptor is Feng Yun apologizes for using Nihon Falcon music in Summer Sweetheart. Apparently they did not license the game music for the game Summer Sweetheart. Apparently Yi's origin is where the music originally came from. First strike. There we go. Attack. No. Here's a big story if it proves to be true. TechRaptor has an article here. Circumstantial evidence suggests EA games are getting Steam releases. Of course, some EA games are on Steam. But some of the games that came out in the past few years,
nightmares remain.
Like, what does this guy do? He like destroys spells and abilities your opponent control can't cause the controller to search the library. Target player puts the top 4 cards into the library into the graveyard, then exiles each opponent's graveyard. Right. Let's play this, and then hope that we have enough to play this. Do I not have enough? Apparently I'm short one. How can I be short one though? Target that. And then a blue. And then a white. And then a white. I don't know why that's not working. Everything seems to cost more. I don't know what's going on here. Ah, spells cost 2 more. Well, then why aren't you telling me that spells cost 2 more? Anyways, the story goes, mounting circumstantial evidence is suggesting we may see a return of EA Games Steam releases, at least for some older titles. Several individuals' bits of information have come together to make it seem like a greater project is at work behind the scenes, bringing EA games to Valve's digital distribution platform.
I aspired for more.
Redesigned library shows Mirror Edge Catalyst as one of the games. Here. There's one bit of information. Someone has played the Saboteur on Steam and it was never released on that platform. I really would love to play the Saboteur on Steam. Dragon Age 2 recently got a new package. A test app provides Origin integration, similar on how Uplay works. Yeah, that would be great. On the other hand, how many boycotts can you have at once, because let's be honest, there's a good reason the boycott. There really is a good reason to boycott EA as much as there's a good reason to boycott many of the other characters, game publishers. Can we afford this? Let's see. You attack that. You attack that. Let's see how this works.
This has been a nightmare.
So yeah, honestly though, if the games came to Steam, it would be kind of a silly thing for me to buy a bunch of those games, but I do want to cover a bunch of those games, and I do want to own a bunch of those games. So I think with a compromised stance, I probably would buy the Saboteur. I probably would buy Mirror's Edge Catalyst. I probably would buy a lot of the EA games, and that money would go right into the pocket of EA, who is losing money right now because nothing that they're making recently anybody likes, and they're all full of microtransactions, which I guess the old games probably wouldn't have new microtransactions added to them. That would be silly. But tap target creatures and draw a card. Do I really need to tap a target creature to draw a card? See, Open Critic has an article here. Compulsion Games hires a AAA talent for a unannounced new IP. What does that really mean, though? I don't know, because it's not like their last game, which was super hyped. We Happy Few was a good game, so. If they're hiring new talent, I guess that maybe makes sense. And this is weird that this is an Open Critic article, in particular, but okay. Indestructible this turn. This is an instant, so I kind of want this instant always on the field. -1 attack. Do I need more mana? I'm gonna say no. Probably not. I guess it's the right thing. If I were Compulsion Games and I had more sales than I probably deserved with We Happy Few, and I was in this weird position where I needed to put out a good quality game. Otherwise, I'm going to be known as the game company that puts out bad quality games that are overhyped. Hiring new talent, hiring better talent for a new AAA game makes sense. I don't know if they really were ever in the AAA field though, so they probably should be hiring talent for a major indie game, which I think they would be better suited at that being their target project as far as quality, is something a little bit smaller and shorter and something under more control. It was the insane ambition of a survival open world roguelike that made We Happy Few feel very different from what it should have been, which would have been a very linear story-based adventure game. The game really, I think, would have been way better that way. In fact, I'm still hoping somebody someday will just make a mod that does that. Okay. Tap a target creature. And I'm gonna tap that one. And then take that. And go ahead and play this. I don't think I have enough to... This is just an instant, so we can just attack. All attacks. He's got nothing he can really block with. We could do damage to Deputy of Detention, I suppose, and then get our characters back, I imagine. Gamatsu has an article here. Lovecraftian first-person survival horror game Underworld Dreams has been announced for the Switch. A horror game for the Switch or any Nintendo console, though probably not going to be very quality. Yeah, this looks like a Windows 95 horror game. This looks like garbage. Not anywhere close to the level of quality you should be visually. Next. Yes. End the turn. Let's see. Gamatsu has an article here. Panzer Dragoon Remake Physical Edition has been announced. It's due out this winter. So, yeah. I do want to see a remake of Panzer Dragoon, if I can pronounce it right, but it's one of those games that is so old and so unique that I'm not sure there's any room in modern video game players' heart for a game like that. Like Panzer Dragoon in particular, I think only really made sense playing it in the arcade with a crazy arcade controller interface. There's just so many cards on the field. So many cards on the field. Let's see. Next we have a story here from Gamatsu for the PC and smartphone. Muv-Luv Alternate, a sequel, Muv-Luv Integrate, and PC smartphone game Project Mikhail have been announced. And with a name like Muv-Luv, I was thinking this was a visual novel anime dating game, and it seems like it's more of an anime war game with maybe mechs in it, which is weird. I'll look at this this trailer and see if I can get any better idea. It looks to me like it is a mech game. Yeah. Yeah. I don't think Muv-Love is the right title for a mech game. Come on, just resolve all. There's like nothing this guy could do short of making me run out of cards, which he might be able to do. Does he have some strategy he's playing here? I have 3 cards because I've been using all my cards up, not because I'm out of cards or anything like that. Okay. Pass. Resolve. I guess this animation probably does mean I'm close to being out of cards. Yeah, I think I just lost there. I just lost. Look, I can play this. And then lose. I lost because I had to draw and I couldn't draw. Which is, I think, way better a way to end a long-running game like that than the way Hearthstone does it, where you just get fatigue, and fatigue doesn't really matter at all because you're probably still gonna be able to play for 5 to 10 more turns. Moving on, Gametsu has an article, Kimi ga Nozomu Ein Reboot has been announced. It's still in the planning stages. It looks like this is a 20th anniversary remake of a visual novel. Let's see, that's one to mulligan. Right. We'll keep 6. And then let's see. I'm gonna put that there. Let's see. Tech Raptor has an article here. Tetris 99 gets a Luigi's Mansion 3 crossover event. Tetris 99 oddly being used to promote what should be a bigger game in Luigi's Mansion, but I guess Tetris is one of the best selling games ever. So that does make some sense, not a lot. Tech Raptor has an article here. Dragon Age Inquisition speedrun record has been obliterated. Beats it under 30 minutes, where before it was an hour and 54 minutes and 35 seconds, which I guess is big news, but only to... It really just means that they figured out some new trick. And a lot of speedruns are just out-of-bounds tricks or other things that are obvious. So here's where I'm going to get a little e-baggy. Tech Raptor has an article. The Steam sale dates leaked. Halloween sale, autumn sale, and winter sale. So the sales are coming up. If you wanted to gift me a Steam gift card right now, I could save that money for sales when I want to buy some more games. Having had to buy a new RTX 2080 graphics card, $500 there. Just, that's a lot of money extra to spend. So it's going to be hard to justify buying games this year, and I need to buy games at least during one of those sales. I'm not sure how well the sales are going to be this year, because kind of last year they stopped really doing anything with the trading cards, and they really didn't have anything special that explained a good reason why you should just continue buying things. So I'm hoping that there's maybe a little bit more excitement and pizzazz this year around at least one of the sales. Ideally the Christmas sale, because by the time the Christmas sale happens, I think I wouldn't be purchasing any other kind of Christmas gifts or things for other reasons. So like, so when are supposedly the dates? Monday, October 28th through Friday, November 1st for the Halloween sale. It'll focus on scary games, although that doesn't stop many developers from giving out discounts. Then Tuesday, November 26th through Tuesday, December 3rd, an appetizer of sorts for the Steam Winter Sale. This Thanksgiving themed Steam sale is running a little later this year. And then Thursday, December 19th through January 2nd. This is big boy, the sale, the end all sales, the Steam Winter Sale. The 2019 edition of the store's biggest discounts will start on Thursday, December 19th, and in 2 weeks on the 2nd day of January. The leak of this year's sales date echoes similar events last year. Well, blah 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 blah. Yeah, there's no real definition about what the mini game around the sales would be, though. So you just kind of have the dates, and in general, everybody knew there was going to be a Halloween sale. Everybody knew there was going to be a November sale. Everybody knew there was going to be a winter sale. The biggest surprise you could possibly do is for Valve to say, actually, we're not going to have a sale at all. And I don't think they can afford to do that. Particularly if Valve is going to have to allow people to resell games. But I don't think that should be a factor in your consideration right now, is that buying a bunch of games at a cheap price in hopes that you could resell them later on. If that French court ruling actually does force even a small amount of Steam users to be allowed to sell their games, resell their games, that's going to change the Steam marketplace quite a bit. Maybe for the better, very possibly for the better, but it also might very well change how sales go, and they might use it as an excuse to put less games on discount. But inherently, as much as game developers complain, they want their games to sell more than anything. And so if a game is not getting sales, it's better to get sales at a discount than not get sales. Nobody can really be like a hoarder who pretends to be running an antique shop. Like, there's quite a few people that are hoarders that just hold on to junk and never sell anything and pretend it's an antique shop. You really can't do that in the video game world. You gotta make your sales. You gotta make as many sales as possible. Moving on, we have a game on Steam here called Dragon's Tale VR, having seems nothing to do with the cartoon A Dragon's Tale. Looks like it's just a low-effort asset flip game with very little to do around the island. $8.54, English only. Way overpriced. Like, Spyro really would be your reference there. If you don't have as much visual level design and collectibles as Spyro, then you probably shouldn't make a VR game, a dragon game. Destroy target creature. TechRaptor has an article here. Weird Noir Adventure Chicken Police has been announced. We'll see if this is a troll game or what. It's for coming out for PC, PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and Apple TV. That strikes me as probably not just a troll game getting released on Steam, but some kind of joke troll game that might actually have some polish to it. Maybe. So, of course, it also has that feeling of streamer bait style of games where it's just trying to get streamers to stream their game, so a bunch of people will buy it and based on it being streamed. Man, I'm just so out of mana. -2, -2. Alright, well, let's go ahead and attack all. Well, while this guy's deciding what he wants to do, we have a game on Steam here called Tangle Tower, which seems like it's kind of an adventure point-and-click game. Well, I am a sucker for point-and-click games, and it's already on my follow list. It's $15.99. English full audio. I love full audio adventure games, point-and-click adventure games. The animation style is different, and different sometimes is better. So yeah, that'll just stay on the follow list until it has 20 positive reviews, or mostly positive reviews, and then I'll put it on the wish list. I wanted to all attack and then see if anything was gonna defend. I'm moving slow, he's moving slow, thus the game's moving slow. Target creature gets +2/+2. Well, let's see how the resolve here works. Kill it first before you give it +2/+2. That's how that works. Okay, good. Whatever card you play happens before the card they play, which makes sense. Next we have a game on Steam here called Spin Rhythm XD. This looks like it is a music game, which I have no interest in playing a music game. It looks like it's a DJ music game. Early access $17.99, that's way too expensive, particularly if you're going to need to find some kind of USB DJ equipment that works with it. Yep. Totally not my style of game. But if you're into DJing to the point you'd play an early access game for $18, I guess have at it. Next we have a game on Steam called Skyracket, which is what? Says it's a shoot 'em up? Yeah, it looks a little MS Paint, and it is a shoot 'em up game, and I wouldn't really want to play a shoot 'em up game anyways. There might be something here. It's discounted to $13.49. It says it has English full audio. The remote play together seems to be for a lot, if not all games. There's a bunch of language support in here. On remote play together, it does seem like only one person has to own the game. Let's see. You may look at the top card on your library at any time and play it if you want to hurt yourself. Must pay life instead. all attacks. Yeah, I'm not gonna put Skyrocket on the fall list though. Well, and I really should have curated some of the most recent games that came out. That way I could get to this lower tier of games that we had left over before. Yeah, I don't think he's gonna win. He's got one card in his hand, he's got 6 damage. I've got plenty of people to defeat him. Next we have a game on Steam here called Lakeview Valley, which looks like it's a pixel graphics game of some sort. It says it's an adventure RPG. I think it's just kind of a garbage game though. $14.99. Apparently there's a bundle. What is this bundle that I also own other things from? Lakeview Valley Cabin Collection. I must have gotten this for free. So I guess I need to do some research. English only. I could get it for $10.04 instead of $14.99. I don't know if this is supposed to be some kind of Leisure Suit Larry style joke game, but yeah, it certainly looks like something I would just pass by. Alright, let's play this. And do any of these have any abilities? Do I want to attack? No, I'm just gonna go ahead and attack with everything here. Yep, here is the listing here. Ponies the Galloping trading card set. Let's see, limit 4 per custom, no returns or refunds. A donation of $30 per card will be set aside to Extra Life benefiting Seattle's Child Hospital. So I guess these are for charity, if you're interested in that. Special charity, limited edition magic cards. This is a prime example though of how they make Magic the Gathering cards way too expensive, and they create artificial scarcity. Like, if most of Magic the Gathering was not copyrighted, you would have clones making fake Magic cards all over the place. In fact, I'm a little surprised that there aren't people out there that just make fake Magic cards all the time and sell them. I wouldn't be surprised if they do. And if I was going to play Magic, I would almost certainly buy some fake cards, because why not? Like, nobody's going to really yell at you and go, hey, this is a fake, you can't play with that. It's like, hey, it's my card, I can play with it if I want to. Maybe you can't play with it in official tournaments, but particularly for new players, as bad quality as some of the Lego ripoff bricks are, Lego, I think, has gotten a lot better, and possibly even a little bit cheaper ever since the patent for Lego bricks went into the public domain a couple of years ago. Let's see. Next we have a game here on Steam. I'm not even going to play anymore. Laneth. Seems like it's a roguelike, low effort game. MS Paint graphics. $7.64, 15% off, English only. And I think what we'll do is we'll just leave some of these games or not comment too much on them. Like here, Jigsaw Puzzle Cats is what it is, $1.99. Like, I'm just gonna say Jigsaw Puzzle Cats. Scroll down here really fast, look at the price, and then that's that. Because some of these obviously don't need to be mentioned. Like Demons Never Lie, looks like a low polygon asset flip game. But maybe there's something to it. It seems like it's all over the place. It says it's story rich. I'll put this on the follow list. $13.49, bunch of languages. We'll see. It's like a pixely point and click adventure game. But then it also has visual novel, like images and text. So I don't know. Let's see. Gamma Sutra had an article here. Steam launches beta for remote play together, taking couch co-op online. The main thing I think is over 4,000 games are automatically supported, where only the hosting player needs to own the game to start a remote play together session. Those involved will be able to play and interact with the game as if they had a controller plugged directly into the host machine, which a lot of games, in particular on PC, don't even work with a local co-op. Local co-op actually getting something that is getting less and less supported. So Steam may be able to get remote play together to work for every local co-op game, and then very few new games will support that, depending on not if it is a console game originally, and the console game has local co-op. TechCraft has an article here, The Division 2 Pentagon, The Last Castle review. Let's see what they thought about the Division 2's, I guess this is DLC? 6.0 meets the bare minimum for post-launch content, offering little of substance other than a few new bosses mechanics and a balancing loot update that should have been released long ago. Yeah, I've definitely not heard anybody say anything about the Division 2 since it launched. The Division, kind of a failed concept. Some of this Magic the Gathering stuff, though, I'm gonna have to not mention too much. But here is a banned and restricted announcement from Magic the Gathering Arena. Effective date October 24th. Field of Dead is banned. Let's see. Players who have Field of Dead as part of their in-game collection on Magic the Gathering will, prior to that date, will receive an equal number of rare wild cards in their collection as part of the update. These additional rare wild cards will automatically be added to the player's collection, and there will be no in-game notification of this grant. Players can still redeem rare wild cards for Field of Dead for play in non-standard formats. There will be a confirmation message reminding players that this card is currently banned in standard. While we're adjusting the core 2020 pack coalition to change the rate in which Field of Rate appears in booster packs after 1100 game update, players will only receive Field of Dead if they have collected play sets of every other rare card available in the core set 2020 boosters. We'll also be removing Field of Dead from individual card rewards, or ICRs. This change will not impact the collection of cards in limited boosters used in the core set 2020 sealed and draft events. Field of Dead will appear at its original distribution rate. If you're participating in traditional standard or standard events using a deck that included Field of Dead prior to this update, you will be able to complete the event with your current deck. Please note your deck will be flagged invalid because of the ban, however, and this will this will not prevent you from finishing a previously entered event. That is one thing that Hearthstone, I don't think, ever had to do. And part of the reason for that is because it was a fully digital game. If they wanted to ban a card or needed to ban a card, they would have just changed it. And they did that and nerfed cards all the time in Hearthstone. But they never had to come out and just say, this is straight up banned. And there's a long, long history of Magic cards being banned and entire expansions being banned, a lot of times for no good reason. Most of the things that get banned would be perfectly fine to still be in standard play, or modern play, or whatever version of play they have, of which it seems like they have dozens. Next story we have, Gamasutra has an obituary for the former Eidos president Keith Bowsky. Let's see. He had cancer. Blah blah blah. He worked as an advisor at Riot Games, Scopely, and Improbable. Seems like he probably wasn't doing much of late, other than fighting cancer. Cancer still kills a lot of people. Let's see. Gamatsu has the same story. Microids opens a Japan office and strengthens its indie label. Microids being the new name for the other company, the Siberia point-and-click adventure publisher. And just trying to get all of the news done. Here's probably what should be the biggest gaming news, but wasn't mentioned by many people. Oxford researchers say clinical, quote, gaming disorder lacks sufficient evidence. No duh. Even all the medical professionals who looked into this knew that in the first place, and the World Health Organization and the UN trying to push gaming disorder as something that's useful, or a useful diagnosis and an actual disease. It's all based on just ridiculous thinking that will be abused 100%. Like, as more people are awakening to the fact that China in particular is ethnic cleansing its Muslim minority and is terrorizing, for lack of a better term, Hong Kong and Taiwan, and just abusing a lot of its citizens that it claims control over. There is no reason in anyone's sane person's mind that they wouldn't start classifying children of people they don't like, or children who just do not toe the Communist Party line, as having gaming disorder, and marching them off to re-education camps or concentration camps, which China is doing both of. It is way more dangerous and unhealthy and unhelpful to create a fake disorder that is not based on any science than it is to say, oh, this might save one person who has OCD and expresses their OCD by playing video games all the time. No, way more people are going to get caught in the crosshairs and disenfranchised because of this fake disorder, than who would be helped by this disorder. Trust me, there's probably nobody in the United States that would be diagnosed with OCD that needs this diagnosis for any kind of like medical insurance reasons. Like, if you need medical help, either your insurance is going to deny you because they're greedy, or they're going to accept you just on the general diagnosis of OCD. So yeah, good on Oxford for standing up for real science and not buying into hysterical thinking. Next, we have a Gamma Sutra article. Get a job. Bitfry Game Studios is looking for a gameplay engineer in Portsmouth, New Hampshire. Right. I just now see the beginning of the end, so there's so many games that we'll have left over for Friday. It's kind of ridiculous. We'll have to filter some of this. Gamma Sutra has an article. Former Zynga CMO Doug Scott joins Twitch as a marketing chief. I think Twitch could use a marketing chief for sure. Maybe he'll turn the place around, but honestly, I'm not sure if a marketing chief is a high enough management position to actually guarantee Twitch turning around and being a success when it really does need to be a success, so it's a competitor to YouTube. But it seems like every time they do something, they do the wrong thing in most people's opinion. TechRaptor has an article here. Succubus's first gameplay video is certainly a thing. Succubus being the sequel to Agony. I don't even think it's really a spiritual successor. I think it's directly a sequel. And like Agony, it's mostly going to be hardcore demonic imagery with a lot of nudity in it too. I know in Agony that was going to be a major problem had the game actually been good, which it wasn't. If I was thinking about covering it, but man, there would have been a lot of censorship that I would have had to do to make it YouTube family friendly. TechRaptor has an article here. This is hardly the biggest continuation of Activision Blizzard's problems, but a World of Warcraft guild that named itself Make Azeroth Great Again has had its name forcibly changed again. Let's see, but the name before was just Gay Boys. So clearly this is a troll. The person in charge of that guild is just trolling them, but yeah, it's not good. It's not good news to once again have twice in a row have a guild be forced to change their name. But I can't really disagree with their reasoning, at least in the first aspect and probably in the second aspect too, because both are kind of trolly names. I don't think I can argue that they aren't. Gamma Sutra has an article paring down the elegant control scheme of Sayonara Wild Hearts. I think I do want to play this game at some point, but I think it's an Epic Store exclusive right now, and very possibly, since it is half music video and half video game, I wouldn't be surprised if you by the time it does come to Steam, it's not relevant anymore. Gamma Sutra has an article here. Dash Valley developer Madbox has raised $16.5 million. I don't know what Dash Valley is, though. It looks like it's a mobile phone game. Must have some level of success, obviously. And we already talked about Darksiders Genesis launching on December 5th for PC and Stadia. So we don't need to mention that. And so that leaves me with what seems to be about 20 games on Steam that I'll try and curate, but I don't think I'll be able to curate much. So I'll try and curate the 20 next games that come out on Steam to adjust for that for Friday. Otherwise, Friday is just going to go really long, and we may just go into a fourth episode. We could have done a fourth episode today also. And then that puts me at the Humble Bundle store. And so, Idea Factory Bundle. Ooh. So, Idea Factory, being the Neptunia anime games, For $1, you get Trillion, God of Destruction, which is mostly positive, and Neptunia Shooter, and Moero Chronicle. That's probably a great deal if you wanted to tip your toe into lewd anime games. But also, it's worth mentioning that the Neptunia games are always like TV 17. They're not going hardcore MA or M-rated. If you pay more than the average of $5.93, you get Mega Tyson Blanc Deluxe Bundle, which includes all the DLC. And you'd have to be careful on all of this because there is probably a lot of DLC. And you get Fancy Fencer F, which includes all the DLC. If you pay $10 or more, you get Hyper Devotion Noir Goddess Blackheart. Very positive too. Super Dimension Neptunia versus Sega Hard Girls. And Fairy Fencer Advent Complete Deluxe Set. Very positive. I think I may have to buy this bundle. This bundle actually is a collection of kind of rare, less likely to go on sale Japanese games from Idea Factory. The Postmodern bundle with Catherine in it has 5 days left. Where is the Girls Who Have Been Empowered bundle? I guess that's not out yet, unless it's the monthly bundle. Let's see. There's a book bundle here. Book bundle, RPG Maker software. Those are almost always on sale. Book bundle. So let's look at the monthly bundle and see what that is. The Humble Monthly. Nope. So the next bundle is just not out yet of empowered females. So yeah, that's the only bundle of mention right now. And I think really quickly just scroll up my Twitter feed and see if there's any news that matters. Let's see. Is there any new bit of news? A Doom 3 port is coming to Libretro RetroArch. A Quake 3 Arena source port is now working with Libretro RetroArch with full online multiplayer source. Let's see, anything else? Apparently there's a demonic Slayer skin for Doom 2016. I guess it is worth mentioning that I think the Doom Immortal game, the sequel to Doom 2016, let's see. So yeah, there might, I think, a delay on that game. Let's see, Magic Arena says there's some kind of special no entry requirement Throne of Eldrin events are now joinable, as well as other non-league events. Store and trade are also available. If testing goes well, League will be available in about 2 hours from this tweet, and that's an hour ago. So I may have to just do some research and play a no entry required game, which would be great. That way I don't spend gold or the gems. Let's see. But that also might be Magic the Gathering Online and not Magic Arena, of which I need to get rid of following Magic the Gathering Online and only follow Magic Arena, otherwise I'm going to constantly confuse myself. And yes, there's another game that just came out on Steam. Tencent now owns 51.2% of Supercell controlling consortium. So, okay, take that for what it is. Supercell Clash of Clans developer, publisher, which I stopped playing Clash Royale, not because of Tencent's involvement, just because the game was getting boring, and Destiny's Child, which I still am playing, is taking way too much time. They have constant events, and it's just like constantly the game has to be running in the background in split screen mode on the Android phone. It's just like, honestly, I wish they would slow down on the events and just give me a week in between each event, which they really don't even do that, to just calm down and take a break. You know, they really aren't embracing the concept of absence makes the heart grow fonder in any way. It's just like more, spend more gems, buy more characters. And even though I've spent as much as possible expanding the amount of inventory as far as characters as I can have, I still am running low on space. Anyways, that's going to be it for this stream. There's really only a couple games and not really any news. Man, that seems like it does not want to work. My game, I'm running out of space. That's part of the problem too. That's going to be it for the stream. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want to friend or follow me on any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below in the description box. And if you want to support me even further, there's a link to Patreon, or you can friend me on Steam and gift me a game off my wishlist, or gift me a gift card, or just gift me a game you'd like me to see. These sales are coming. Great time to make a one-time gift. Also, if you want to gift me something before then, particularly Snake's Pass or the complete collection of Hat in Time, both games I'd really love to play right now. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.